Yeah. Yeah. Is that Potter like hash, yo? You gotta get me groggy like a panda, though not in a dream. Whoa, the stop sign shattered as he shot at me. Yo, not while Canada's sovereignty falls like Niagara on such drugs as the cops might drag me by the collar, pop like perhaps Andrews of long ago, locked me like rap in a small room, shot while standing with his broadsword these hot nights, laughing at all the peasants. Your top 5 rappers were all men. We talk like that we're not a problem. The softer side of rap is it's not all men. Cocks like antlers, tall and erect. The softer side of math is what hip-hop is. The modernized manner of modeling myth, but soft while the tanager aloftly lives. It's song like rap/hip-hop by women. Condescend to hand them bronze or silver as a volleyball bath, the volublary blizzard. Yo. Yo. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Apocalyptic from the thought of itself existing unto the bottom of the 10th inning. What's going on? I guess we're winning. What is this theme? All smooth and slippery, bubbling riverine through the middle of me. Mind romantic as the rapids. Mind so fat that it clappeth. What is a mind if not a magnet to poetry? Try as you don't to access it. Don't mind me, I'm just rapping a toast to the rising wealth of capitalists growing tired of so much management as poets lie about the palace. The role of science is to smash it, closing and rhyme the soul's happiness. Borders are all signs of no thereafter, as all corners of time to the calendar, darkness, a light and inflammable. The blackbird flying so Mbaruk as Andrew lighting the cigar tip. This asteroid looming catastrophic. Black perfume to his black nostrils. All anti-human misanthropical. Sitting pipe in teeth as Jean-Paul sartorially hypnotized by speech. Lacan yawning. Marx is boring. Andrew Mbaruk like a thought unformed by Canada's Sartreans. Beside Audre Lorde was I not, pedestrian as the tattoo artist, his bodily lore alive. Walking aroundly startled by a rock in the orange sky. My comedy of forms, nigh gaudier than porn and like, not important. Years behind books, these bars as the cormorant beak. Like a hook in the dark with a lure wound tight around Mbaruk's forthcoming, fishing at night, the town largely snoring, murmuring. That larger asteroid was more worrying. Red torn curtain exposes television as porn posing and a special exhibitionist. For the poets this technical wisdom, and they say he'd foreclose some especially crucial system. The florid poem bending the lute's strings thus, orange notes, and executing in English a form closer to the foam whereby meaning groweth. That death older than death, spiraling over it, he finally explodeth. The dream deferred into pieces of words, the letters, lies holding together his sermon, flying over them in letters all broken and bent, over what they'd meant, screaming, so succulent, soft and sipid, red, apocalyptic. Is death. Afro-textual. Yo. Shining a black light on the quantum corpuscles of my raps, like a condom outpouring cum from a hole. My thought was a pinprick, though not insignificant. These facts not inconsiderable. This black modern literature, yo. Andrew just wanted to tickle her giggly. His laughter as some novel Ishmael reads, cantos with a black politics. Drink it deep, for we found here the father lode of big ideas. Our quantum souls akin to white media, though it's opposite. Hidden like street hustlers, if only in the way of our collective groove. His poetry, the swaying flowers, negritude. It's not that complex, it's just a long Afro text. Thought the man's psychiatrist. The bombast, the style, songs, wisdom. Yo, his shock, a child's innocence. Waving to thee from the slave ship's violent slave spear. The thought of him riles me. The crate digger, Canadian though he kind of isn't. Sampling the European mind beneath. Hegel's Negro negative, not minus. To relax my hair, your rhyming weaves. You know I hold the night to this solar music, mindless in higher esteem. Yellowy orange, the blue behind it, Afro-textual formed the new science. The question was war, who's behind it? And the answer, 42 white men. Predators soaring through the sky again, expect more gratuitous violence. Did this rap extend unto the Imperium? No. In fact, it was just the ceiling. We're trapped in a web of evil wherein all of Africa crept beneath the sun, dipping Zappa's electric nihilism in Afro-textual meaning. More than the Blacker Hendrix pieces, distortion, the Kantian evening. As practical reason, Mr. Andrew M. These black lines represent his traveling scent, this animal bent on fact getting its ass kicked by a faster predator. The anvil ever, never the blacksmith, axe in hand in an accent my dad penned as a lad in Kenya, Afro-textual. Andrew Mbaruk, sap from the tap of his art, Canada's special most blackest reflection over hanging friends, these rain clouds, enemies. Drake, blacker than Kendrick, please, payback, getting even. Straight Afro-textual people may have to accept as equal such lady men as Devo. Are we not Negroes? Leaning on the tree so casual, the mob distributing his Afro-text. Shan't dig the finer levels of blackness, like lines against the glass wherein I measure the crack to sell it. The white pleasure in his Afro-text. My father taught black boys to read Achebe. Seattle destroyed the dude anyway, as true rap. Noise to those expecting Drake. He used his black voice to hold your reflected face before you, ignoring the collection plate, a foreigner at heaven's gate. Chivatsi wrapped in Swahili, the simple scramble for Africa's realists, the slavers. The middle passage, Slavoj Žižek, didn't have much of an opinion on as a theorist. Yapping, flapping solemn, see the flag. Andrew's thought read green and black, even as his walking feet were shackled. Yo, a lobotomy for the black man who votes. Electroshock, the black sheep with 1,000 volts. The powerful most doses of paliperidone and Zoloft for the black man who knows what's going on. Though his etching of the Mountie strangling a black swan now hangs on the palace wall. Okay. It's okay. The freak's arcane devotion to song as Beefheart, wagging the ghost of a dog, the tale parlayed into a whole novel, reincarnated as a Pokemon. The street art fading on his home in Toronto. Part dragon, part goat, his nostrils breathing hot flames. The poet's gospel, a long prayer for the impossible. It's all layers with no bottom to know. It's all fake below the water, below the shaky boat. A bobbing slowly, languidly, loadedly, rocking as Lou Reed. So stoned during the long movie, Scorsese'd thrown upon the screen. Maybe these poems were philosophy. I mean, these days it's time to think. Deeply de-aged as the Irishman, loose and chaotic. Losing my train of thought, but it'll turn up sooner or later as Hoffa. The muddy waters of a blues as pure as the Provençal troubadours. Ears, as the years, flying crazy. The geese like ladies waving to their beetles from a mosh pit or Chuck Berry. Coming chocolate. Fucking scary, more delicious than obvious. The form specific and non-specific. Simpler than modern English. The porn he'd printed, sans serif, so illegal all over the Mona Lisa. It's not poetry, it's degradation. So seminal, sacred, even romantic. The poem a planet, Mercury. The soul of an African working for free. Gotta plug in the laptop now, or die. Let's wait, where's it? It's here. That's the verse. And I've got to get it all in. Yeah, Woodward. Yo, Woodward. Andrew Mbaruk extending into the ground, his African roots gnarled as his limbs move around. Judeo-Christians, you rascals, given to this temptation, these Lupe fiasco interviews as entertainment. Click, inhale the page, laugh out its random lines, language made of gases, atoms besides the savage, naked African samurai. Now exhaling here, the blackest sighs, the man escapes unto a Japan of the mind bubbling. The ginger ale, his katana dry, dictaphonically listeningly thinking of his bond in bondage with Phyllis Wheatley under Hesiod in the pond. Of rhythmic breathing, a school taught the noose knot to laugh with Andrew Mbaruk, but too badly used to confuse African farmers in English, planting his seeds in fact and in fiction, whilst thy weeds do dance without rhythm. Indeed, he's breathing Afro-textual literature. I mean Dion Brand and Cecily Nicholson. He flew from New Westminster, sword dangling, falling onto the bed where orgasms live. Social death, more romantic, in and out, the flow of respiratory blackness. The bush about which the broom had much to sweep, music without which no room could structure meaning. No coon could utterly refuse to fuck for free, though Zeus did suffer peace and plaudits. For his harassment heterotextual, her S for seminal, the letter to the genital level. As oxygen projected, ejecting a video, the earth rejecting free black labor for all, below the moon's gravitational pull. Growing an Afro cultivation tall, glasses awake at the bar as Andrew peels the labels off bottles. waiting for his flowers to grow. She's coming, the ghosts of white speech, screams her lungs alive. For the poem I preach, believers, he's hung like a pony, immodest, holier than God himself, sauntering back to the shed with my horse, the candle or electric light glowing, all Afro-textual like the low. The song wherefrom black men by the road must unforget the past, digging like the hose husbandmen like to hold. A breath or two of fresh air. It's no seppuku pressure, but it's hard to bear. Sometimes the slave economy weighed Compton. Maybe you should fall down, baby bottle in hand. Boo-hoo, that's not allowed. It's white slavery you take into your nostrils and biodegradable. The paper straws we use copying truth, the most black fate of the patient. Comatose as Drake in intubation, we all need to breathe. Some of us can't, you know, and this is the sad truth. Breathe Andrew's soul, the weak relaxed hair, as meaning's phallic impotence, these flaccid leaves of grass, to the tree's natural, sexy, green afros glistering. Oh, the shrooms were working, and bluely lurking behind a cumulus curtain were those human persons amid the looming firmament. Who could be certain? Who could be certain? Crucial his going back 3 decades learning, his vocab completer than a Turner painting, you know that, fictive as Queequeg and Merlin, true as the cat, though between her legs purring, crucial the vibrator whirringly whirring, as the united birds of earth incurring the wrath of Hitchcock, prepared to be demonized in hip-hop, barely legal at 19, caught sharing weed with Irene, and I had a feeling it'd be a good night. Green tea ice cream, would you like a bite? You don't just lick it, you'd bit it. The cold wet image, too delicious even for William Carlos Williams, with his bizarre scribblings. Crashing in his car with a drink, Andrew David Mbaruk's in this thing for the tactile pleasure in a pussy. Stretched so good when he's in there black like the tower at night, erect and wooden. The sexual pusher man's hat so bright, he's walking with a cane as if he's almost 80. The pimp so unlike those creatively limp. God made me infinite. The shrooms were working, and bluely lurking behind a cumulus curtain were those human persons amid the looming firmament. Who could be certain? Who could be certain? These lines of poetry, a few candles, throwing aside a book by Bruce Andrews to slide his whole thick, huge phallus inside the missus who can handle it lubed, privately living like a rap crew. These lines of coke, a few candles, throwing their light on you, an ashberry, flipping through flowchart, fascinated, listening to Mozart's magic flute. Inside the missus who can handle it lubed, as Andrew sang the blues. Black music, Andrew's head between Milady's thighs tonight, beneath the DJ's diatribe in G major, the style like weed mixed with cocaine and the occasional secret pill with no name. Yo, the shrooms were working, and bluely lurking behind a cumulus curtain were those human persons amid the looming firmament? Who could be certain? 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 The recognitions, Andrew Mbaruk and Wedget Seymour. The recognitions, a slab monolithic, the black cock rigid and random as the system, standing on business, sticking to it. Letters upon the fridge door, spitting truths as never thought since nor before. Together we studied hardcore in the waiting room, paying to come as Star Wars plays anew. The matinee blew her masturbating muse. The Saturday sex server, that day we read no further. Splashy over the bed a square. Abstract and purple, these hands full of mercury ooze the sperms she didn't use. The feet kick inside her in Morse's code. The fetus alive and adorable. This Scorpio speechfully rhyming, and he's writing a porno. Wes Anderson's attached to direct as traffic, the vaginal penetration. Pavement slanted and enchanted, breaking as fast with a satellite dish. Can I kick it? Maybe with cash awake in the clouds, a man flies swimmingly, super manifold. The truths as fact folded into a hat for the poet. The news made fashionable, oh yes. A free Palestine as meaning stands behind a people alphabetized, with 2 or 3 facts beside them, pre-afterlife. Reading the MacBook like he has to die, she's actually nice. Condemning the felonious, the monkish, thrown to hell's punishment. Walking hand in hand through chaos, these fallen as cats and dogs, raindrops, wrapped in the bondage of Satan's law. She and I don't play lacrosse, we steal the diamonds among your cave rocks as the sky among the gray clouds, weakly shining through the sacred waters. The Son of Christ, this sunlight leaking, come like from what I speak to them. Yeah, my love might be intense, sweet and gentle, digging in deeper than the dead go, spectral. As though Frantz Fanon were back as the zombie, mouth hanging open, rapidly frothy, standingly walking so slowly, the hands before his staggering body, grabbing Nazis, biting into the brains, thunder, lightning, and rain coming like the brightest rays of sunshine from up high. Supremacy evaporates. Sometimes it's better to wrap the pain away. His mind infested with black brain waves. The psychopathology ponderous, whiter than the follies of Plautus. The style was not simple, though, employed tonight to drive along limo through the cosmopolis. DeLillo, you sophist, like driving along dildo into her softness. And it's noon right now on a Monday round Christmas, like clouds aloft today gone in 60 seconds. Words as the speeding ticket, blurrily visible, staggering from the vehicle on fire, breathing for the breathalyzer, yo. Holding the brain upside down, the words, these shaken out nouns and verbs, watering the flowers. Andrew like a whirlwind of meaning, doing raps, while his girlfriend sleepeth. I'm serving you a secret, imperfect through the leaves of a jungle, a rainforest. Fucking like strangers or friends, the dude verbally shooting his words through the birth control, his super sperm. the unicorn neighingly obeying me through the formal maze, a maze of trees.